Greetings, my lovelies. Welcome to Black History Month. We are celebrating it and we've been celebrating it throughout the week. We appreciate you coming and joining us today. I'm going to put some music on before we get started, and then we will move on to the presentation that we're going to have with King Lancelot. Okay, so let's get some music going. Hope you've had a beautiful Thursday, wherever you are listening or watching our presentation Black History Month. We really do appreciate you all. All right.
I see myself through other eyes. Who is this that they want me to be? Put that shit out. I'm going through cycles of life. Put that shit out. Cycles like, but it's hard to see we were never meant to be, but it's hard to see. You're going too far. See who you are and not who I am. I lost a good friend in me, lost who I'm meant to be.
Wow, that was Phoebe, Cycles of Life. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We seem to be having a little bit of technical problems with our internet, so hopefully you guys can hear us loud and clear, and I appreciate you all being here. It's been a very, very enjoyable week. We've had King Lancelot come and we've been interviewing and having conversations, talking about so many different topics, so you guys can get to know more about the man. So we're going to invite him back onto the stage as per usual. Greetings, King Lancelot. Hey, welcome.
I see me. Okay, let me just. Yeah, everything is good. All right. Welcome. Just yeah, there's been a lot of technical difficulties.
Yes.
Even trying to post on the Facebook, and also I couldn't press the live on my Instagram. So fair enough. Something.
Yeah, you just froze for a little bit, so we didn't hear what you said. You froze.
Oh, I was saying, I wasn't able to go press the live on the Instagram,
Mm.
and yeah, it seems like the Facebook is for me to share it. Yeah, the
Yeah, this
feedback.
platform's playing up as well because we both seem to be freezing up as well. So it must be something happening
Yeah.
in the. So we'll try our best and see how it goes. So thank you all for coming. Is there anything you want to say, King Lancelot? Just to, we've been having since Monday. We've been doing Black History Month. Have you found it? Have you enjoyed being here?
Definitely. Yeah. Yep. I have. I have. It's just it's not what I'm finding. It's not. It's just like a. It's more like people is like a festival instead of a
Mm.
history. More like a festival. It's like flags, colors, then that's it. It's like going over like the heart. I know I'm getting feedback.
Yeah, it seems to be like we really you're going in and out. We can't really hear you that clearly. So I don't know if you want to come out and come back in again, maybe.
Yeah. Why not do that?
Okay, let's try that. Just going to try. We're just having technical issues today. I've had it all day as well. So hope you all are well. Let's read some chat while we're waiting. Let's see what people say. From Ethiopia, born in Amsterdam. I write the Bible. Okay, interesting. Welcome. Mama Verna, greetings. Iyasa Al-Yasu, greetings. Peace and love. Peace and love. I can't see properly your name. So is that C Shat? Peace and love. Thanks for being here. I know it's a Thursday and everyone's had a long day coming. Meta, much love. Love you. Thanks for being here. Mama Verna, thank you. Sidewing 6765, thank you. So just bear with us. We're just having a little bit of technical issues. Hopefully you've been following us through. We've been doing Black History Month and we've been celebrating with King Lancelot the I. If it's the first time you've heard about him, he went to the House of Commons in 15th of September 2025, and he made a really bold statement that he was the real King of England. And so we decided to bring him on here to have him examine why he felt confident that he was the real King of England. And so we've been doing that throughout the week, and I have really had a wonderful time. Every time I come to the lives, and truly I'm learning something new every time. So it's been amazing. So hopefully you're learning something new on it as well. Okay, King Lancelot's back again. How is that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, much better.
Cool. Yeah, everything looking different now.
Yeah, much clearer.
Yeah. It's just sometimes. All right. Yeah. What was the question? Sorry.
Oh, go on. You were going to say.
No, I'm saying thank everyone for viewing and being here.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be an excellent live as usual.
Yes.
From yesterday, I just did a lot of reviews and highlights,
Yes.
and kind of I broke it down in another way. I'll approach another way to doing the presentation
Mm-hmm.
because
Okay.
I see I see what it requires. So
Excellent. Excellent. Well, let's jump quite into it. I'm going to do a some questions that I might a little bit different from what I've asked you before, and I think it's going to be something that people on the live listening through TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. And so I want to ask you, let's talk about the ancestors. We as melanated people, especially in this awakening journey, have been using that term, that word, ancestors. So I want to ask you, King Lancelot, what does the ancestors mean to you, that word, or the concept, if you have any, of the ancestors?
Just me and my father, as far as it goes to the beginning, as far as it goes, it's just my bloodline. That's all it means that, and myself was giving me again a image and likeness, character, all the possibilities. That is what I have for ancestors. It's just me and everything that is attached to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's pretty
So,
straightforward.
yes. And it's okay actually because everyone has different thoughts about it, but I like how you answered that. So let me ask you the next question then. So how, when we're talking about ancestors that have gone before us, how do we honor them, and how do you honor your ancestors, even though you gave that simple word? But do you honor your ancestors, and if so, how do you do it?
Yeah. So like in every family, you have ones that are brave, ones that are weak. So normally, human beings would go for the good things. Just like if you have apples, rotten, you wouldn't really eat a rotten apple because it's not pleasant. You would go for the
Hmm.
best one. So, um, my ancestors, my family, like I want to repeat. So I look for the highest and the best ones, and then just follow that, or even try to get beyond that, beyond that standard. So yeah, it's just the best of my ancestors, best of my family.
Hmm.
Use that as a standard and try to surpass it or set a greater
Hmm.
standard. So yeah,
Mm. So honoring them is just doing better than they have done, or excelling
yeah,
to a different height than they've done. That's
yeah.
a good great way to think about it. Thank you for that. Now let's do a dive sharp left and talk about a topic that most of us want to run away from, and that is black magic. Right. So, do you believe in black magic, and do you think it's a bad thing or good thing?
Yeah, it's it's just it's just intelligence. That's it. It's not even I don't even see it as black magic. I see it as intelligence. And there are people that tries to do things like just in everyday life. There are people that try to be smart, and sometimes they hurt other people in trying to be smart. And there's people that actually intelligent, fix things, make things work, and help people to overcome if they're fears, if they're weak, encouragement and that. So it's just intelligence. You could say ancestral intelligence, primordial intelligence. You know, um, definitely, and also black magic. It's just it's it's excellent, and it's supreme. There are
Hmm.
good ways to do anything in life, and there are bad ways to do anything in life. So
Yeah. Yeah.
whoever's intention,
Mm.
that is being used.
Yes. Now, I like how you said that is intelligent. It's intelligence, and it's basically, what you're saying is like black magic is based on what the knowledge, the intellect of how much you've taken in to learn. So let's, with that in mind, should we as Nubians be using black magic to help us get out the situation that we find ourselves in this day and age, or should we stay away from black magic?
Listen, that's So obviously, because the word in on this type of regime, but listen, it's our law. Use it as, like just like the law, like how they use it as any means necessary to oppress us. We use it the same. Any means necessary. Everything. There's no holding back on nothing. Everything is go. Yeah,
Wow.
everything is go, man. No holding back
No,
on.
can you explain to me what you mean it's law? Because I'm sure a lot of people, I haven't heard that someone say black magic is law. So can you just touch on that a little bit more, please?
Yeah, because that's ancient. That's ancient. So without black magic, there's no other things. There's nothing else. Because that's the ancient. That's the ancient intelligence. It because it's DNA. If we don't exist, no one else don't exist. That's just
Mm,
law. So again, we have just lost knowledge of ourselves. So we're allowing other people to label it what they want, so that they use it
mm,
more than us. That's it. That's the way
yeah.
it goes. So yeah, man, telling you, bring me all of the high priest and everyone, and I tell them what to do.
I really like. I mean, seriously, because I think that will make it a lot for a lot more people relax into it because of what we've been stuck into, as in we've moved from the pharaohs, from kings and queens into religion. Why do you think a lot of melanated people go into religion? If we used to be royals and we used to use magic to move pyramids and all the wonderful things our ancestors did, how did we move from there to be stuck? I would say the word stuck in religion.
Yeah, because that's psychology. That's child. That is a child's play. Um, being able to stop one's growth, because only child believes in like fairy tale. Because we are practical people,
Mm,
and if you're not critical, so like for instance, psychology of a 4-year-old, you could tell them the same thing over and over again. They would actually believe and do the same thing over again. As long as you're
mm,
feeding them, taking care of them, that's it. You could trick them
mm,
as much time as possible. They're all right. So these things are for child to keep your mind undeveloped,
mm.
because
Do you think do you think it's because we're spiritual, or do you think we go there because of the things that we've gone through, and we kind of looking for safety, and some people go into religion for that safety to feel safe.
it's just a child. No responsibility. You know, and that's that's what it is. There's none of the safety, none of it. Just it's like obedience. Not it's a hard thing, and that is responsible. Like it's so. I remember psychology is that when you have to then be responsible for your community and make sure that they're safe, like be like health and safe. That is, you really then have to kind of stop all the childish things, and then
Mm,
really, because you want to advance, and being a child is not advanced. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It, it, you could keep the creativity, certain aspects of it, but totally child, no,
Mm,
don't work.
mm,
As you see, it doesn't
mm,
work.
yeah, definitely. And I agree with you with that because a lot of us that grew up in church because of our parents, but it didn't really do nothing for us. So yeah, totally, totally right. So what does the word esoteric mean to you?
Oh, well, it's something sacred though. So it's most like it's more like ancient, same like primordial, like a something that is true, like something that is a natural basis of law, something that you could Yeah, it's more a natural practice. The things that is practical. I would say. I
We're
would,
getting a bit of feedback on the mic. I'm not sure. It's like something's clicking on your end. There was just some clicks. I don't know if you can repeat what you were just saying just there.
okay, so that was concept. Yeah. I was saying practical. It's esoteric is a practice like something that's practical. And something that is cultural meaning. Only you would know because of your social environment. Like say certain things that you do in your house, it's only you would know. Like, and it's so it's like that. It's more of that type of practice, and then based on who you want to let in, you in your house, you have you have to go through certain rules and principles of your house. So that's what I see as. That's what I see as. Um, yeah, I don't know if that kind of helps.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Now, we've been hearing a lot in the news, and I'm sure all of us have heard, those listening on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, every time we've been hearing about aliens. Now, let me ask you the question. What is your thoughts on aliens? Are they our ancestors? Are they for us? What are your thoughts, King Lancelot?
Well, you know, intelligent beings, anything, because to be able to do certain things that you can't really fathom, they have a higher intelligence. Plus, we know that there are ancestors that come from other stars. It's not like a mystery. So it's just it's just we now more likely betting that they're the one that is coming. So
Mm,
but it feels that way. Based on our frequency, the timeline, what is happening. Feels like that mindset. The closer, just like the closer a crowd gets. Say a crowd could be a crowd of worshippers, a crowd of people that walk the street, and a group. The closer they get to you, you know, if you're familiar with that, you the vibration kind of change. You kind of get happy,
mhm,
and when they come to you like a mass, like a mass group. If it's they come usually, as a tradition, we usually have people when it comes to a certain time of year, they kind of walk through the community, group of people, and it's walk like as a mass. And when you see them, it's like good feeling. So
mm.
it's like that. It's like there is a good feeling. You know what I
So
mean?
if
It's a
you
real good
saw
feeling.
a spaceship, how would you respond to it? Would you get on the spaceship with our ancestors?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Why not? Man, I'm with the team. I'm with the team. My ancestors. Why would I not? I,
Mm,
I'm with the team. I'm with the team. I'm saying with the stars, with the sun. So it's just a must. Just like I'm obedient. So I'm orderly. So I just that's it.
mm, mm.
Another level. That's it. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. It's just people. Some people might not know themselves, but when you see the team, you just join the team. That's it. No questions. Yeah, you are good. Let's go. It's like a bit. Sometimes you see someone and they click. You're like, okay, let's go. So just feels everything just feels in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah. Now, I really like going out in nature and grounding, and in nature and grounding on the ground and being around trees. It's been really, really helpful for me. I go for walks. Now, when you've been doing your presentation, you talk about us being children of the sun. How can we connect more with that aspect of ourselves and even with the sun, because it's a celestial being, as you talk about? How can we, as melanated people, connect more with that concept that we're children of the sun?
Well, you definitely have to get. get more intelligent. You have to learn more about it because again, intelligence creates resistance. All right. So
Mm, mm.
an adaptation.
Can you say that again? Intelligent creates resistance and adaptation.
Yeah.
Can you break that down for us, please?
So some people they're darker than me. Dark. They're afraid of the sun. They can't take it. All right. Don't know how, but they just can't take it.
Mm,
You know.
mm, mm,
And some people say, um, literally they tell you the sun gonna some same sun's gonna give you cancer. Like take this sunscreen here. Like what?
mm.
You don't even know what it's made out of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so again, intelligence. You know, so as when you go towards it, it allows you to absorb, adapt. But ignorance is like your hate, self hate.
Mm,
You know, so first you have to gain intelligence because when it so for instance, it's just like when if someone's watching a certain type of movie, but they don't
mhm,
have no knowledge of the movie, they're not gonna feel like the movie as much, or even a song. You know,
mm,
sometimes a song, intelligent song, giving you enough message, but they ain't not clued up on the song, so they're not really getting it. You know,
mm,
yeah.
mm,
So it's like that. You have to be that's because it's still a bit low. You have to be a peer. You know, you have the potential, but it's what you want at the end of the day. So the
mm,
difference, you have to get intelligence with the sun, know what it's made of, know why you're connected to it, and then from there, because it does give you things that if you're not ready for,
mm.
again, it will drive you.
Mm.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It does it gives you your own sunshine.
Yes.
Ah,
Yes. You use
people.
a word a lot. You say intellect and intelligence. Now, how do you best, and you say you need to learn more, so what's the best way you found that helps you keep memory? Is it through books, through audio, going to events? How have you found is the best way to keep memory and, develop ourselves to that place where we have intellect and intelligence?
Yeah, it's a combination.
Hmm.
Combination. Yeah, I have audios, but self audio, something that you would tell yourself, but you know that your brain is not really clicking, so you just play that instead of
Mm,
so things that you would tell to yourself, place that you go, you just do the things that you because that's what memory is, doing the things that you would normally do. But we're in a system that interferes with us, interfere with our
mhm,
natural expression.
mhm,
So we have to allow the extra activities to keep us focusing on what you would normally do
mm,
uh, for your growth, not normally do like for just entertainment, but for your growth. Yeah. So and that's why first you have to know yourself because some people thinking growing is like partying and you know what I mean. So some
mm,
people think of different things of growing because they're not aware of their surroundings, what affects them, so they don't know how what growing is truly.
mm. Interesting. I want to read something to you, and I wanted you to tell me what you think about it because you just said something that I was going to do it later on, but I'm going to read it here. And it says here, in ancient Greece, the philosopher Socrates famously declared that the unexamined life was not worth living. He was then asked to sum up what he thought what life was all about, and he replied, "Know thyself." Would you agree that what life is all about, to know ourselves?
I stamp that. I stamp that. I stand that 50 times over. So say that King Lancelot said the same thing. Know that so for real. You have to.
Mm.
That is like yeah. Everything else, no, it's just an extra in the background.
Mm.
Everything else
So
is
how did you
extra.
come to know yourself?
Yeah, just focusing on the things that just my senses. Like just focusing on me, like looking in the mirror.
Hmm.
Seeing some people looked in the mirror and never saw themselves before. Literally,
Mm.
they look in the mirror, but they don't even see. Like people haven't even gone close up and actually see what they look like. Some people
Mm.
just have. They just so some people like they look. They see the mirror, but they don't look like they don't actually look and see because it's a bit scary when you actually pay attention to yourself.
I was just about to say that because
You know,
I'm going to be honest with you. I was afraid to always look at myself in the mirror a while back, and I think about a year ago, I actually did what you just said, stopped and looked at myself, like literally looked at myself, and it was such a wonderful feeling. Like you're right, like you see something different when you stop and look at yourself. Truly, truly, you do. Yeah,
see, yeah. But it's right though. It's right, and
that's
it's
crazy.
because it's that's when he says when there's a verse that say be still. I know that.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Mm.
like you have to be still.
Oh, you're
You have
frozen, King Lancelot.
to
You're frozen.
look. You have to be still. You have to see where you're
You,
coming from because again,
King Lancelot, you froze, so we didn't hear what you said. Your whole screen froze.
yeah. Can you hear me?
We can, but you're still frozen.
Okay, let's give us 1 second.
And it's like your mic is just muffled. So, because you're going in and out, we can't hear you clearly.
Yeah, just, 1 moment. It's gonna even out. So
Yeah, just keep talking because people can hear you on TikTok. So it'll be fine. We'll let the other ones just blend in. As long as they can hear you, that's fine. Let's concentrate on that. Hmm.
yeah. So the question again.
We talked about what journeys did you go through to get to know thyself?
Yes. Um, pay attention to your senses because that's your supernatural expression. Huh?
Hmm.
So that is the God part of you that is required that you're required to have.
Mm. Are you talking about our practical senses of smelling,
Yeah,
tasting, those?
practical
Hmm.
sense. That's your basic. The more you
Mm.
pay attention to the ones that you have, you realize that there's more.
Right.
You
Yeah.
do
You
that.
know,
Go on.
I think in class, I think we're going to have to, because it's literally not the technical issues getting worse. So I think we should continue on TikTok, and then we'll end it on the other ones because it's you're just freezing up and you're going in and out.
Okay. So yeah, no problem.
Okay. So
So,
you carry on talking, and I'll end this one, and then we'll continue on TikTok now.
okay. Yeah. So it is much concentrating on the things that you.
Guys, we're gonna have to end it. It's just again tomorrow because we're having technical issues, and even just on the platform, it's just going round. But be here tomorrow, same place, same time, and we will see you there. Okay, lovelies.